Today I will be discussing on social responsibility along with gender sensitive behavior. Both these are essential topics and skills as this helps in shaping progressive, equitable and inclusive society. So let's start with social responsibility. What do we mean by social responsibilities? The social responsibilities of individual refers to the ethical obligations that each person holds towards society and the collective well-being of their community, environment and the global societies. Philosophers like John and Albert have emphasized the importance of fairness, compassion and empathy towards the fulfilling all the social responsibilities. We have categorized social responsibilities into various categories. One of them is environmental responsibilities. It involves minimizing energy consumption in public places like office, school or public transportation stations. We should always prioritize purchasing items that are recyclable or made from recycled materials. Always engage in practices like composting organic waste and reusing container to minimize landfill contributions. Always ensure that waste, even small items like we often use chocolate and throw the wrappers on street, avoid all these practices. Reduce individual carbon prints by sharing rides or using public transportation instead of driving alone. Simple actions like fixing leaks, taking short showers and using water efficient fixtures can lead to substantial water savings. And last, making conscious choices that reflects a commitment to sustainability, such as choosing plant-based diets or supporting eco-friendly brands, will reinforce personal responsibilities towards environmental stewardship. In today's digital era, being responsible online is as important as being responsible offline. One of the major concerns is oversharing our personal details. As cyber crimes are increasing, one single mistakes like sharing your personal images, details, password, addresses, phone numbers or any financial information can lead to personal identity theft or any financial losses. We can adopt several practices like monitoring our privacy setting, creating unique and strong password, enabling two-factor authentication to protect our online accounts. We can also adopt measures like always stay cautious with unknown links, always verify emails and messages. If you ever receive a message asking for sensitive information, first verify the sender identity before responding. One of the important components of technological or digital responsibility is social media behavior. Often we come across some derogatory or inflammatory negative comments. Instead of arguing or involving in arguments, a simple reply or a simple comments. Let's understand different perspective. Let's understand everyone's perspective. Can de-escalate the situation and encourage respectful discussions or respectful interactions. Now, we can also adopt several measures or we can use these practices like always log out of accounts on shared or public devices, always clear your browsing data or browsing history after use on shared devices, avoid using public Wi-Fi for sensitive activities like online banking and consider using a virtual private network for added security, and moreover using spam checkers. The rule is very simple for everyone. Act online as if you would in real life, both respectfully and responsibly. Beyond environmental and technological responsibilities, we also have ethical and moral responsibilities, which consist of accountability, that is taking responsibility for one's action and decision, including their consequences; fairness, that is treating oneself and others with equity, avoiding self-destructive behavior; practicing kindness and empathy, that is practicing compassion and understanding towards others; and last, to promote peace, that is resolving conflicts constructively and fostering harmony. Now we will move towards promotion of inclusion and tolerance. Imagine inclusion as a mosaic, each piece unique, but when every pieces come together, create something beautiful. It consists of a 3 steps. First one is step forward, break the bystander effect, be the one who acts. Next is celebrate differences. We are diverse population, so this diversity is our strength, not our barrier. And third is create ripples. Small actionable behavior of ours like kindness or standing up for others can create collective change. Always be the one who step forward. Your action can inspire others to do the same. Now we will focus on gender sensitive behavior. Gender sensitivity refers to the awareness of what people think about gender and how gender influences social interaction and the treatment of individuals. It involves recognizing privileges and discrimination associated with gender roles, aiming to foster respect and equality among all genders. Now we will understand the concept of gender sensitive behavior. The UN defines gender sensitive behavior as actions that consciously takes into account the differences between women and men, aiming to promote equal opportunities and reduce disparities in various sectors, including health, education, and employment. This is a basic difference between sex and gender. Sex includes male and female, whereas gender includes masculine and feminine. Sex is biologically determined and changes across time, but gender is sociologically determined and it remains constant over time. Being gender sensitive is acknowledging that, seeing women and men what they actually do, rather than relying on just mere assumptions. Hearing women and men, their needs, priorities, and perspectives. Counting valuation of women's work. Respecting women's and men's view and human rights. And caring about women and men and what happened to them through developmental programs. Being gender sensitive also means that we should recognize that gender biases impede development, realizing how gender biases are inhibiting growth, respecting the rights of every person, and ending gender stereotypes. There are three key aspects of gender sensitive behavior, that are awareness of how societal gender norms affect behavior and opportunities, equity in ensuring fair treatment and opportunities for all the genders, and inclusivity in avoiding stereotypes and making decisions that benefits everyone. Why gender sensitive behavior? Because it promotes equality, encourages empathy, addresses social issues, and fosters development. Now we will see the different gender sensitive behavior we should practice in different sectors. First one is agriculture. Let's start with agriculture. As agriculture is the backbone of our country, but it's still gendered in approach. Women being the highest contributor in agriculture system, but still they are facing many issues. One of those issues is lack of gender neutral technology. Introducing tools and techniques that meets women practical needs, such as labor saving machinery or gender friendly storage solution, can enhance productivity. But how to design or how to maintain this gender neutral technology effectively? Simply by providing ergonomic data like cost data, muscular strength data, and aerobic capacity data on farm women. Moreover, practices like field training extension methodology should be participatory and gender sensitive, so that farm women develop adequate skills that increase their work efficiency. We should also emphasize on training material and methods and other infrastructure required for training that should be adapted to the needs of women farmers and to their level of literacy. True empowerments come when women takes a seat at a decision making table. Involving women in program or policy formation, agriculture organization, and decision-making bodies like cooperative and local council ensure that their voices are heard in shaping the programs that directly impact them. Providing equitable access to resources is the cornerstone of a gender-sensitive behavior. Ensuring that both the gender have access to land ownership, credit, and agriculture input can improve their productivity and decision-making power. For instance, the Self-Employed Women Association in India provides microloan, allowing women farmers to invest in seed, fertilizers, and small equipment, fostering economic empowerment and independence. However, access is only half the battle. The major issue is unequal gender pay wage gap. Ensuring that women and men receive equal pay for equal work in agricultural activities not only ensure fairness, but they also value the contribution of women in agriculture. Now coming to education sector. Education is the foundation of a progressive society, and gender sensitive behavior make this foundation strong and inclusive. Often we have seen that boys are encouraged to take science oriented subjects and females or girls are encouraged to take humanities subject. These stereotypes are still embedded in our society. We should break these stereotypes. Both boys and girls should be encouraged to explore all subjects equally, especially in fields like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and humanities. We can provide gender-balanced role models in school, in colleges of different achievers, which will allow students to envision various career paths without limitations based on gender, which helps to break down traditional stereotypes. Providing example of Dr. Tessie Thomas, known as Missile Woman of India. Female scientists such as Marie Curie in physics, Kalpana Chawla in space exploration. Providing example of V.S. Naipaul, a Nobel Prize winning author. Next, we should change our language. Using language that will help to foster an environment where everyone feels included. For example, using gender neutral terms like firefighter instead of fireman helps avoiding reinforcing stereotypes. Instead of using boys and girls or ladies and gentlemen, addressing the class as students, learners, or everyone. Adopting teaching methods that caters to different learning style without reinforcing gender biases. For example, involving learners in group activities where leadership roles rotate among all and encourages confidence across genders. Leadership roles are not meant only for boys, both the genders should equally participate. Last, schools should provide gender separated and safe restroom facilities, which is crucial for encouraging adolescent girls to attend school consistently, especially during menstruation. This inclusion reduces dropout rates for girls. Workplace. Workplace is a space where everyone should feel valued and respected. How we can incorporate gender sensitive behavior in workplace? Simply by focusing on creating conducive and favorable culture and environment for both gender that encourages all employees to voice their concern about gender discrimination without fear. There should be provision of a parental leave for all genders to support shared parenting responsibilities and challenging traditional gender roles. Implementing policies and rules that ensure equal pay for equal work regardless of gender also promote equitable pay practices in corporate sector or in any other workplace. We should always ensure that hiring, promotions and professional development opportunities should be based on merit rather than gender. Family is the place where our values are taught. And we all know that charity begins at home. We can practice gender sensitive behavior at our home or our family by some examples like shared responsibilities, encouraging both parents to participate equally in household chores and child care. For example, father is doing dishes or mother is taking care of financial decision. It not only reduces the burden of each parent but also provide as an example or role model to their children that responsibilities are not tied to any gender. Moreover, fostering an environment where discussion about gender roles and expectations are normalized, allowing children to express their feelings about societal pressures, discussing topics like gender equality, stereotypes and respect openly with children. For example, explaining why it's important to treat everyone fairly regardless of a gender. Let children express their interest freely, teaching children that interest and abilities are not determined by gender. For example, allowing boys to play with dolls or girls to engage in sports. For example, celebrate achievement equally, whether it's a girl winning a science Olympiad or it's a boy winning a dance competition. How we interact in our society also help in shaping gender norms. How often we have heard boys don't cry or she is too strong for a woman. Let's normalize boys expressing their feelings with vulnerability, as I believe that true strength lies in emotional honesty. Moreover, use language that respects all gender, avoid derogatory terms or stereotypes in conversations. Stand up against sexist jokes or comments in social settings for both boys and girls that will foster a culture of respect and equality, and always encourage equal participation and representation in discussion, activities and decision making, which will promote equality in future. The Government of India has taken various initiatives towards gender sensitive behavior. Some of the key initiatives are gender sensitization in curriculum. The National Council of Educational Research and Training has integrated gender sensitive content into school curriculum. Textbooks now include messages promoting gender equality and activities designed to challenge stereotypes. As media is our fourth pillar of a democracy, so this India media is encouraged to adopt guidelines that promote equal representation of gender in content creation. This includes ensuring diverse portrayals of men and women in various roles to break stereotypes. Certain acts and bills are also introduced by Government of India, like Equal Remuneration Act 1976, which mandate equal pay for men and women doing the same work, aiming to address the gender pay gap and ensure economic fairness. Criminal Law Amendment Bill 2019 aim to make the provision of sexual assault if teasing, stalking, domestic violence, making and gender neutral. This initiative shows India's commitment towards the promotion of a gender sensitive behavior, but law and policies are not alone enough. True change occurs when the society will implement these principles in the daily lives. Now we will see how a small change in our daily behavior will create a big difference in promoting gender sensitive behavior. How often we have used unconsciously masculine noun he, his or him, or feminine noun she or her. We often use he for a doctor or she for a nurse. Instead, use third person singular noun like the writer, a student or someone. Similarly, expecting men as a strong and independent and women as a emotional and dependent reinforces gender stereotype. Why should men always be strong and women as a emotional? Always treat each person as an individual. Men can be emotional and women can be independent, and that's completely okay. Teaching men empathy and women resilience can help in creating balanced society where each individual is treated as an individual regardless of their gender. We often heard, now cooking and cleaning skills are survival skills, not gender roles. It's common for daughters to be trained in household chores from an early age, while sons are encouraged to focus on studies or career. Imagine a future where every child, irrespective of gender, can do cleaning, can do budgeting, can focus on their career. For this future, we should encourage both son and daughter to learn basic cooking, cleaning and budgeting, preparing them from independence and breaking down stereotypical roles. In family, men may be more likely to make financial or big life decisions, while women's decisions are more inclined to homely matters. That's very wrong behavior. We should value equal contribution from everyone equally, allowing both men and women to lead and participate in major decisions. Financial decisions are not restricted to men, as we all know that our financial minister is also an woman. Lastly, making jokes or remarks like "don't cry like a girl, she is so strong for a woman, women are terrible drivers." Politely challenge this joke or redirect the conversation, showing that you don't prefer jokes that basically give rise to stereotypes. If someone is saying "don't cry like a girl," just reply, "crying is just being a human nature. Women are terrible drivers." Just replies that driving skills or any skills is not tied to any gender. These small changes in our behavior can create a world where everyone is valued and respected irrespective of the gender. To conclude now, as we conclude, social responsibility is not about grand initiative. It's everyday behaviors that we should incorporate our daily life to change and to create a fair and inclusive society. Gender sensitive behavior is a vital part of a social responsibility. From the way we speak, the roles we encourage and the jokes we allow, either helps in reinforcing stereotypes or breaking stereotypes. As Mahatma Gandhi have stated that, be the change you wish to see in the world. Let's not wait for the change, let's create change, because shaping tomorrow starts with what we can do today. Thank you.